Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Random Tall Guy. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me, and of course, let's get started. On today's video, I'm going to be working on my chicken project that I've been working on for a couple of months now. If you take a look at this, it looks like my chickens are enjoying the roost I created a couple of videos back. And so far, everything has been fine. My chickens has been extremely healthy. No major or any injuries or sickness or any disease. So far, all my chickens, all my girls has been nice and healthy. So far this setup has been working for me. I have a nice tarp here to keep this place dry when it rains, but I'm thinking of adding a clear top on the bottom over there so that the sun can go through, but also it can stop rain from dripping down and making that into a mud pit. So far everything has been working. Surprisingly, the chicken coop here has been good. I honestly thought it's going to be too small for my girls, but in the middle of the night when I check on them, they're sleeping and they have enough space and they're not too cramped up in there, so I love it. I honestly was thinking of making it bigger, but they only use this chicken coop for sleeping, so it's the perfect size for all my chickens right here. If I'm planning to get more chickens later in the future, I definitely need to make that bigger or buy a second one and just attach it to each other to make it bigger. But so far, this chicken coop has been the perfect size for my girls. Right now it's a little windy, so my girls are getting a little scared when the wind blows. Today's video, I'm going to be upgrading the feeder and the waterer for these chickens. These containers work fine, but since my girls are getting bigger and they're getting more hungry and more thirsty, I definitely need to upgrade the containers. So far I've been refilling the containers twice a day, which is not a problem. Honestly, I do it early in the morning, and then around 3 o'clock after work, whatever, I go ahead and fill it up again. So in today's video, I'm going to be upgrading the feeder and the waterer. I did pick up an awesome feeder and waterer kit that I got from Amazon for these chickens, and it was extremely cheap. I'm going to put a link in the description below where, in case you guys want to pick it up. It's pretty cheap and it looks nice, and apparently it has good reviews, so I'm gonna try it out. And since I'm gonna add a new feeding station, I'm gonna go ahead and just move this around and make it better so the chicken has more space. Also, I like to mention that this right here is their chicken run. They definitely come out to the yard and they peck around. I have a pretty big yard and I have a lot of vegetation for them and stuff like that. But yeah, this is this chicken run. They spend about 50% of their day here and then 50% around the yard, pecking around, enjoying the space and everything. But I'm also thinking maybe in the future I'm gonna lay down some, like, I don't know, sand or maybe some kind of ground over here. I mean, when it rains and stuff like that, this ground has good drainage system because nothing really piles up and become like a mud or like a pool or a pond. So when it rains, the water quickly leaves. But I definitely think I can make this better by adding some kind of straw or sand for their feet. Honestly, when we first put this chicken run here, this area here was nice and green. It was full of thick grass. Now look at it, it's basically a desert filled with poop and bird feathers. But that's going to be another video. Maybe I'll make a different video on like a different of adding like sand or something into the chicken run. But all right, so enough talk about that. I'm going to go ahead and show you the containers that I got for these chickens. All right guys, so this is the kit right here. So you have a feeder bucket and a bucket for the water. If you take a look, it comes with everything you need. These are like basically water nipples for the chickens, but I really don't like these. They also have like little water cups that basically automatically fills when it gets empty. You got the feeder buckets here. Apparently it's supposed to be good for the chicken. They stick the head in here and they get the food, and it also makes it extremely hard for mouses to get in apparently. So this right here, this bucket right here with the holes, this is gonna be the feeder where you put the solid food. And then you have another bucket here with kind of little holes. If you take a look, this is going to be the one for the water, and I guess they give you some treats. I guess it's so you can train them to get the food from the bucket. All right guys, so we're going to start off with the feeder first. The feeder has these 4 holes in this bucket right here. It comes with the cone, and it comes with the lid and the instructions and these cups right here. If you take a look at it, all we're gonna do is gonna basically screw on these cups to this, and it should be pretty simple. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it real quick. All right, so this right here is the cup that they're gonna stick their head in. You notice over here there's a little roof, that's so that rain and stuff doesn't get in and basically make the food all damp and mucky. And you have this little cap right here, and you have this O-ring. Once again, is to make it weather tight or water tight. So basically all you do is get this, put it through right here, just like that, and then screw it on. It's pretty simple, but in case you guys need to know how to do it, this is how you do it. There we go. Don't over torque this, because of course you can break it because it's just cheap plastic, but it's basically like this. They'll stick their head in and the food will be right here, and they'll just peck at it with their beaks. Pretty simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that to the remaining 3 holes real quick. All right, and basically the feeder is done. This is how it's technically supposed to look like. So basically you have this anti-roosting cone here. You take it off. You have this lid, of course, and then basically this is how the inside should look. You're gonna go ahead and fill it up with food or feed or whatever you want to call it, and then the chicken will stick their head in here, and with their beaks they'll go ahead and eat right from here. And I saw a lot of videos of people using this, and the chicken looks happy, and I didn't see any like struggles or any issues when the chickens stick their head in to eat the food. I got medium-sized birds, so this should be perfectly fine for them. Also, one thing I like to mention, anytime you buy containers like this for your chickens, make sure you clean it with either just rinse it off with water or soap and water. Just clean it, because a lot of these containers contain like factory dust and contaminants, which could be bad for your chickens or even bad for you. So always clean this before you put fresh food in it. I went ahead and I rinsed it with water. It should be fine. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with food. I believe this bucket here holds about 2 gallons. All right, once you put the lid, make sure it's nice and tight. You definitely don't want any rainwater to get in here and make the feed all soggy. Also, the feed I use doesn't have any preservatives, so if rain and mud, whatever, gets in here, it can contaminate the food and it can create mold really fast, and you're gonna waste 2 gallons worth of feed if that happens. So make sure it's nice and tight. And then you go ahead and put your anti-chicken roost cone on, and you should be all set. You can either hang it or put it on center blocks. I'm gonna put it on center blocks for the meantime until I figure out how I want this to be supported. But you definitely want this off the ground, because the chicken's gonna stick their head in here, so you definitely don't want to make it difficult for them to snake their head in here. All right, that being said, we're gonna move over to the waterer. All right, for this installation, we can either use the cups or we can use the nipples. This one honestly is just a preference. I'm gonna go with the cups. I believe these nipples end up freezing really bad in winter versus the cups, because if you notice, this one has a plastic housing, but the middle is a metal valve, and all it takes is a little of moisture and water for it to freeze up, and then they can't push it in. As for the cups, I can visually inspect it every day to make sure that it's not frozen. So I'm gonna go with the cups on this one. And also, if it becomes extremely cold and I know the water is gonna freeze, I can always put this on top of a low voltage water heater, and that should be fine. I forgot to mention, all this plastic right here is BPA free. So having water in here and having water sit in here out in the elements is not gonna cause the plastic to become toxic for the chickens. So that's definitely good. It's BPA free and it's been tested, so it should be safe for the chickens. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the cups. I also believe the installation with the cups is way simpler than using the nipples. All right, and just like the feeder, this one comes with the instructions, and it looks like you can also use the cups for different projects or different configurations. It looks like you can attach it to a cage, and also you can run a tube to them as well, which is pretty nice. All right, so I went ahead and I opened up the package. It looks like they sent me 6 cups, so 4 for this and then 2 for like cage option or for other options if you want, which is pretty awesome. Also, I didn't notice that these cups comes with a second cup. If you take a look, this is a second cup here. That's so that if this ever gets full with ice or if it gets dirty, you can go ahead and just take off the cup, rinse it, put it back. You don't have to remove this whole unit out of the bucket because then the water is just gonna spill and it's gonna become a complete mess. To install this is pretty simple. You take this cup right here, you have a wing nut right here. You wanna go ahead and unscrew it. Make sure this washer stays right here. This is gonna stop the water from seeping out of the crevices. Then you're gonna take this and you're gonna go ahead and screw it on. All right, when you insert this into the hole, you're gonna find it that it's kind of difficult. Try to twist it clockwise so that you don't damage the plastic threads on the stud here. All right, when you install it, make sure it's nice and straight. You don't want it to be crooked. Now it's gonna pivot upwards like this. This is fine. I did check another video from the actual company and they have it like this. Honestly, I feel like these two clips right here gets in the way, but I didn't see them remove it or anything, so I'm just gonna follow what they had. So just make sure it's nice and straight, and then go ahead and fasten your wing nut on this side. All right, and just double check the washer, make sure that it's flush with the bucket and there's no weird gaps, and you should be all set. Once again, make sure it's nice and straight. All right, and all right, so I got 1 done. Now I need to do 3 more. So I'm just gonna put you on time lapse and get that done real quick. All right, so I'm all set with this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna rinse this off 1 more time to remove any debris. So then we're gonna go ahead and fill up with water, and then I'm gonna find a spot in the chicken run for the girls to go ahead and test it out and see if they like it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and enter the chicken run. Excuse me, girls. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove their food container for the meantime. And if you notice, this one's empty. They ran out of water already on this one. Good thing we're upgrading to the new containers. We have this random dish here where we put like fruits and other stuff, fresh veggies for them. I'm gonna go ahead and move this to this side right here. They don't really hang out on this side that much. I'm gonna go ahead and move this to that side for the meantime. If she decides to leave, she's complaining because she's probably hungry. All right, girls, go, go, go. I know you're scared, I know. Just give me a second. Oh, I guess she's not scared. What are you looking at? All right, change the plans, girls. We're gonna turn this. So, wash your feet. I'm gonna grab you, I'm gonna grab you. You don't like that, do you? Get out of the way. Oh, you're not scared of me, are you? There we go. Now I was thinking, if I ever need to make this coop bigger, I can always convert this into a coop because the structure is right there. I can just make it a little stronger, put some walls, put some roof, and boom, we have another coop for the chickens. Surprisingly, this spot's the only spot that is cleaner than the rest of the run. All right, so I'm gonna be using these blocks for the meantime and see how they work. If the chickens don't mind it, I'll leave it because I think they like the texture for their beak. They like scraping their beaks clean, so they're probably gonna like the texture on these. I'm just trying to find a nice flat spot on the ground right here so that everything stays leveled. The girls are going crazy because I moved everything. I guess either they're mad or excited, I'm not sure. Wow, this is honestly perfect. I noticed when I put this bucket onto this this block, it fits perfectly, and since this has like a little lip, it actually like keeps it from like being pushed over. That's pretty nice. All right, and then the food should be the same thing, the same ordeal. Perfect. Honestly, these blocks are the best thing ever. I might want to, I think I can leave this handle here, but yeah, these blocks are perfect. These are 8 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches. And they fit perfectly. Perfect. You can see that it has like this little lip, this little rim right here, and it keeps it from being pushed over. That's nice. And I believe the height is perfect for these chickens. These are medium-sized chickens. I think the height's perfect. Only they can tell me if they like it or not. And that black Australian lope right there is enjoying that that branch. I'm gonna go ahead and put the remaining food here. All right, and I forgot to mention, this is the lid for the water. You notice that there's a hole right here. This is where you're gonna refill the water, and it does come with a rubber grommet that you can, or a rubber plug you can put onto it, which is pretty nice. So I never had to open this lid again. It goes just like that. Stay like that. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it up. As I mentioned, it holds about 2 gallons, I believe. And look at a mess right here. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of hours and it looks like the chickens automatically found the hole in where they can eat the food from. As for the water, I honestly kind of cheated. I took a chicken and I moved her towards the water and I showed her the water and she automatically started drinking. But I believe if you leave them alone for a couple of hours, they'll automatically find it. But I was just trying to be nice. But yeah, the feeder looks like it's working, and I was kind of concerned about the hole. I thought it was a little too small for their heads, but it looks like it's just right. Now same thing with the waterer. It looks like it works perfectly fine. There's a little valve in there, so it controls how much water is in the little bucket, so that's also good. And what I love, once again, and what I love about these 2 buckets is that I can fill them up and I can leave it alone for about 2 to 3 days before I need to go back and refill them. As for the 2 little containers I had, I needed to refill them twice a day, which was really annoying. So hopefully this makes it easier for me. So for the feeding station, I think I'm all set for now. I'm definitely gonna leave it here on this side just because I love coming in and refilling it real quick. I don't like traveling all the way down there, covering my boots in poop and feathers and all that. So I'm definitely gonna leave this here for now. But overall, everything looks fine. As I mentioned, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below where you can get these. All right, so I'm gonna end the video here. There's a lot more things I want to do for this chicken run, so I'm gonna make videos later in the future about it. I also need to make a lot of videos on the green Jeep. There's a lot of repairs I need to do. And also, as for the gray Pontiac Vibe, there's a few more videos I want to make on that car before winter hits. All right guys, so I'm gonna end the video here. Take care, support your local farms, and also support your local chickens. Say bye, chickens.